right, Dan, hello.
Hey man, how's it going?
Doing well. I've got some questions for you.
Yep.
All right. As a juror, you have a lot of responsibility. What is your criteria or philosophy when it comes to casting your vote for the winner?
I'm going to look at, who is able to navigate week by week with the power switching in the house. Every time there's a new HOH, you have to adapt to, what everything is, what's going on in the house. So I'm going to be looking at who's able to successfully navigate their way week by week and not get in too much trouble and make it to the end.
All right. I want to ask your opinion on some of the players left in the game. And just get a thought on like how likely you feel like you would be to vote for them. So how do you feel about Anika?
I'm not entirely sure about Anika. She is sitting pretty well in the house right now, but I think because of Kuzi, that's why she's sitting so well. So I'll have to get some more feedback from the rest of the jurors when they come in on how she's been performing since I left. Right now, I don't want to say she's a floater, but she's definitely been kind of smooth sailing, and she hasn't really had to do anything drastic in order to make sure she's safe.
How about Claudia?
Claudia, I think Claudia could do really well. She hasn't really done too much in the challenges. She hasn't really had many opportunities to perform in the competitions yet. She's a really good friend of mine in the house, so I'm really hoping she can go far. But yeah, I'll have to hear from the other jurors to see what she's been doing since I've been gone as well.
How about Daniel C?
Daniel C. I love Daniel C. He is so entertaining. I think he's got a good social game. A lot of people like him, and he is aligned with Anika and Kuzi. So kind of the same thing with Anika. I don't think he's had to do too many drastic moves or anything. So again, kind of the same thing I've been saying. I'll have to hear from the other jurors to see how he's been doing since I've been gone and what he's been up to.
How about Hope?
Hope is a competitor. I think he isn't the strongest socially. So I think he needs to step up in terms of his strategy and who he's aligned with. I think he's just aligned with Johnny right now. That's kind of his number one guy. But he can win competitions. So I think he could get far just based off of how he performs in the competitions.
What about Jonathan?
Jonathan, in my opinion, hasn't done too much right now. He's kind of skated by. So I would love to see Jonathan make some moves. Hopefully he can win an HOH or two and make some big moves. Right now, I just think he's kind of skating by.
How about Kuzi?
Kuzi, as it stands, I think Kuzi is in the best position in the house. And if I were to vote right now, depending on who is up against her, I would probably be voting for Kuzi to win. She's shown that she can win competitions. She is a very strong social player. And during her HOH week, she ruffled a lot of feathers, but I think she got out of it scot-free. I think she's sitting very well right now, and I'm rooting for her.
How about Renee?
Renee and I have had a little bit of a rocky relationship. I felt like there was some trust lost between us when I put her on the block, which is totally fair. But I think she's very good socially. And if Renee makes it to the end, there is a good chance I'll be voting for her to win because I think she's very smart and she knows the game very well. And yeah, if she makes it to the end, I think she could be deserving.
How about Santina?
I don't think there's a chance that I'd probably be voting for Santina. I have a feeling that she was the invisible HOH that put me on the block. And we didn't really connect too well. So there's not the best chance that I'd be voting for her to win. But if information comes out from the other jurors that, there's information that I didn't know about, there is definitely a chance that I could, but we'll see.
All right. How about Shania?
Nene is my bestie in the house. I feel like in pretty much any scenario based off of that, I would vote for her to win. Maybe depending on who she's up against, if other people really think she didn't play much of a good game, that maybe they could steer me away, but I would definitely vote for Nene as it stands right now.
All right. And how about Ty?
Ty, I love Ty. I think Ty would be very well deserving if he makes it to the end, especially because he has such a big target on his back. So if he can make it to the end, I'll be very impressed. He is definitely a strong competitor. He is very good socially. He's very calculated in everything he does and says. So if Ty makes it to the end, I would likely vote for him, of course, depending on who he's up against, but I could see myself voting for Ty to win.
All right. Who do you think has played the best game so far?
I think I touched on this, but I believe Kuzi has. She's been the HOH. She made a big move in getting Zach out. So hats off to her. And I think she is sitting very pretty right now. I don't think there's a lot of targets on her back. She kind of got away with it. So I think she's playing a very good game, and I could see her going all the way to the end. No problem.
Who do you think has played the worst game?
Oof. Okay. To think about this for a sec. In terms of people still in the house, oh man, it could be Santina based off of the fact that I don't really know if she has a strong alliance. She's kind of been on her own throughout the last couple weeks. So I think there are things she's done that's really good, but I think she is not in the best position as it stands right now.
Who do you think has had the most influence in the game?
Out of the people in the house right now, I would say definitely Ty has had the most influence on people. Ty is a mastermind in his way with words, and he can usually get what he wants in a conversation, in a situation. And he's shown that, I think, over the last few weeks. So I think he has been a big part of where the house is going and how it's moving.
Who are you most upset with in the house?
I think maybe Santina, assuming still that she was the HOH. Santina, if it wasn't you, I'm sorry. I just firmly believe it was. And so if I had to choose someone, it would be Santina, but no hard feelings. It's all a game and it's all good.
Who would you have brought to the final two if you had gotten there?
Right now, my strategy would be to try to bring someone to the end that I think isn't as deserving as me. I don't like using the term floater, but it is a term we use. So right now I would say maybe Jonathan. He's a likable guy, but he hasn't really done much in the game, I think, at all at this point. So right now I wouldn't mind sitting up next with Jonathan if we were at the final two.
What was your favorite moment in the game?
My favorite moment had to be winning that HOH. Going from the block to being the HOH winner within a few hours was such just like a change of pace. And that was by far my favorite moment in the house.
What do you think was your biggest mistake in the game?
I think my biggest mistake was putting so much trust in Zach early on. I was desperately looking for a number one early on in the game, someone I could go far with, someone I could trust. And I expressed that to Zach, and it seemed like he reciprocated those feelings. But looking back, I realized that he was aligned in so many other places, and I was pretty low on the totem pole of people of importance to him. So if I could go back, I might have tried to align elsewhere in terms of a number one.
All right. That's what I got for you, Dan.
Awesome. Thanks, Taran.
Thank you so much.